Hello and welcome to another video by me, Charles10. My hair is in my face today. Anyway, as you can see, I have got Shadow of the Colossus right here. This is what we're reviewing today. I've been playing, I say a lot of this, I haven't actually, but you know, I love this game. I played it originally back on PS3 when they did the HD remaster back in like 2011, I believe it was. I played Ico. I never actually completed Shadow of the Colossus. I got to the last Colossus, I think, twice, because I played through the game, and then my PS3 got the, whatever Light of Death it was. I think it was the yellow, I can't even remember. And then I started to replay it when I got a Slim, like a couple of weeks later, and I again never completed it. So this is actually the first time completing the game, which is weird, but it was still nostalgic to go back to it, because the only one I hadn't ever completed was the last Colossus. So there wasn't much extra to do except for the story, and I kind of already knew what happened, because I wanted to go into Last Guardian knowing all that stuff. But anyway, so this game, if you haven't already bought it, because it's been out for a couple of weeks now and I only just completed my playthrough, is well worth your money. I can say that immediately. You know, it was, I think recommended retail was £25 or $30, something like that. I got it for about, I got it actually for £7 because I got an Amazon gift card for my birthday from a friend, so I managed to get it really cheap. And you know, I think it'd be, even if they did this at £40, I'd still say it was worth it, because it's just such a great experience. The soundtrack is amazing, the gameplay maybe a bit old, but it still holds up nicely, and the story's interesting enough, and the whole concept of having just bosses as the gameplay is just extremely fun. You know, it's something we still see in games like, you know, Titan Souls, that sort of thing, where it's literally just bosses. And this was kind of the first kind of game that really did that, where there was no... And the thing is, they're not really bosses, they're platforming levels, really, when you think about it. Fighting the boss is just one part of it. But as you can tell, I really enjoyed the game. I've completed it, I've started doing the time trials. I'm going to try and get the platinum. I don't think it will happen sort of soon, purely because there's a lot. You have to do 3 playthroughs and then start a 4th to get some of the trophies, and then you have to do all the time trials and things, which aren't the easiest of things to do. So I don't know when I'll get the platinum, but I really want to. So story wise, I'd give it probably an 8 for the story, because it's interesting, but it is, you know, it's very basic. You're taking this woman, you don't know who she is, what relevance she has. A lot of people say it's your lover, but not many people, I don't think they ever actually say who she is, except for her name, but I can't even remember that. And some people say it's his sister, the main character's sister. But anyway, you've taken her to the Forbidden Lands, where you're not meant to go, and you don't really know where this place is, but this figure basically tells you, hey, if you kill these 16 colossi, I will bring back this woman to life, even though I'm not meant to, but I will, because you have this sword. Now, this sword, as you later find out, was stolen by this ancient people who locked away the person that's talking to you. And, you know, I'm not going to spoil the ending or anything, so, because some people probably still don't know it, and they want to wait and play, and it's a fun ending, and it will make you look up videos, because unless you're the most intelligent person alive, I don't think you're going to be able to work out everything straight away and how it ties in with Ico. It doesn't necessarily tie in with Last Guardian, although I have seen theories that it is, but I from playing Last Guardian, I don't think that Ico or Shadow of the Colossus have any direct ties. But Fumeto Ueda, who is the director of the original game, he did not direct the remaster, which is by Bluepoint. But he said in an interview that Shadow of the Colossus is a prequel to Ico. So yeah. And if you watch a video, you'll understand it from the ending. But story-wise, it's an 8. I don't think it's amazing, but I think it's still a really good story, and I enjoy it. Gameplay-wise, it's definitely a 9 or a 10. It's just so much fun when you're going through the Colossi and finding the weak points and working out how to defeat them. It's just every boss feels different. There are only a couple that I don't really enjoy as such, and they are probably the smaller ones. So Colossus, I believe, I'm trying to think now. I think it's 15 or 14 is one of them, and there's another one, which are smaller ones, which I don't enjoy as much. I prefer the much larger ones. So, and I don't really want to go into detail. I have gameplay of sort of the first 2 Colossi on the time trials because I don't really want to spoil the later Colossi if you haven't seen those. But the big ones are so much fun to climb, and it feels... They've still managed to keep the feel that the original had, that you are so small in this world compared to everything else there, and you're the only thing that's living apart from these Colossi, which aren't even really living when you think about it. So you're kind of the only thing there in this desolate land apart from eagles and that sort of thing. But there's so much to the game I didn't even know was there when I originally played it, like the things such as the shrines that refill your health and stamina. You've got the fruit, which will slowly give you a little bit more stamina, and you've also, or I think it's health, and then you've also got the lizards. I did not know any of that was even in the game originally. Which is very weird, but I honestly did not know any of that. I literally thought it was just the Colossi, and even that was worth it, but with all this extra stuff, it's still a lot of fun. So yeah, I really like the gameplay, and I recommend that everyone goes out for it. What else is there to talk about? The music, it's probably one of my favourite game soundtracks of all time. The music is so much fun to listen to, especially when you're playing the game, but the music is so epic that you even want to listen to it when you're not listening to it. I will probably listen to some of the tracks when I'm editing this video. That's how good the soundtrack is, and I can rarely say that about game soundtracks. There's only a couple that I can really say that about, and things like Last of Us come to mind, and SSX because it is that kind of track. But Shadow of the Colossus has just got such a good soundtrack. I might actually have to go and buy the soundtrack because it's that good. But I think my overall... I'm going to keep this review short and sweet because most people know this is a great game, and I've already said how much I like this, but I think I can easily give this game a 9 out of 10. I'm not going to give it a 10 out of 10. I would, but the camera has some problems, and so when you're stuck on objects and things, sometimes the camera will be a bit finicky. And the way the character works, where they've tried to make the movements realistic, because it was back in the PS2, they tried to make it way too realistic, and you're falling about everywhere, and it gets a bit awkward. So apart from the controls, it's a perfect game, but because of that, I'm just going to drop it down to a 9. But I still think this is an amazing game, and it is near perfect, and it's one of my favourite games of all time. And if you haven't played this game, you need to go and play it. If you don't have access to it on any other platform, get the PS4 version. This is the definitive version of the game, for sure. There is no doubt about that. And if you don't have access to the PS4 one, go play the others. But this is definitely the version I would suggest you play. I don't think I actually own the PS3 ones anymore. I might do. I don't think I do. I'm looking on my shelf. I don't think I actually own it on PS3 anymore. I must have got rid of it or given it to someone years ago. But anyway, that was my review for Shadow of the Colossus. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like on the video and a comment down below what you did and didn't like. And feel free to subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Alright, bye bye.